welcome back to my channel. Just had a little technical glitch, so I'm hoping that this recording goes okay, but if for some reason we have to edit in several little bits, you know why. Now Libra, welcome back to my space. My YouTube platform is the space where I guide you into your emotional well-being and help you to facilitate great levels of leadership inside of your soul-led business. Now Libra, we are diving into your reading for January 2025. And as I'm going into the energy this month, there's a huge connection with giving yourself permission to let go of the how and realize that there's new ways coming to the surface. Now, you are somebody that can be very analytical in the way that you want things done. And I feel like sometimes your logical mind overrides the rest of your body because you try to think about how am I going to get to my goal? What is it that I want to achieve in my life? And you plan every single little detail. Now, what I'm seeing as we go into January is that's created a bit of a disheartened feeling. You can no longer plan every single detail because you're recognizing that that isn't serving you and it's not beneficial for you to plan every detail because then when it doesn't go to plan, you feel disheartened. Now, Spirit is actually asking you not to come into the year with, this is what I want this month and this is my goal and this is what's going to happen. I do feel like you need to get clear on what it is that you want, but you also need to be very mindful with how are you setting your goals and how can you actually give yourself permission to receive them and reach them? Because if you're always setting the bar higher and higher and higher and higher, you're never going to feel internally satisfied. Now, Libra, I have to say, as I'm connecting, one of the things Spirit is bringing to the surface here is caffeine. And so I feel like there's somebody listening to this that just needs to remember that caffeine consumption is not to be taken advantage of as we're going into January. Just remember that strongly, because there's a lot of like mixed emotions that come through as though caffeine consumption or alcohol consumption, some kind of toxic energy that you're putting into your body will show up in other ways. And so you might think that it doesn't bother you, but then the emotional highs and lows will absolutely have an effect on you. Now, back to what it is that's coming through. I do see that you are pushing forward this year and everything you want is making its way to you. But there is a very, very clear reminder that you have to look at the mirror reflection. And part of that mirror reflection is realizing that the way that you've been trying to move forward is not working. Now, this is not about changing the direction. It's about changing the way that you navigate towards that direction. And so there's a lot coming through around expression and presence right now. Now, your expression is how you feel good. It's how you feel connected. And there's something around your social environments right now where you don't feel completely expressive and you don't feel present in your energy. Now, there's a major need for you to feel present and vacant in your body, because that vacancy in your body is that, oh, I'm grounded, like I'm in right now. And you've almost been hovering outside of your body. And so spending some time to really ground yourself now will be beneficial. But when we're navigating into January, looking at the change of direction here, what is majorly coming to the surface is that what's changing is how you're going to get to where it is that you're going. And so you can't come into this with this analytical mindset and it needs to be this way and it needs to happen this way. You have to be open to the way that Spirit intended. And Spirit right now is leaving breadcrumbs and it's kind of sprinkling guidance to you, but it's expecting you to trust that. Now, the thing that comes to the surface is that your emotions are a vibrational scale as to what Spirit intended. And so if you're doing something that's out of alignment, if you're with somebody that's out of alignment, if you're practicing habits that are out of alignment, business that's out of alignment, you're going to feel that. So it doesn't matter how much you try to keep on this path that you've planned for yourself, you have to mix things up. And it feels like you had it all figured out. Things happen in different time frames in life and we have to honor that. And so if you figured out that you were going to get married and then have children, or you figured out that you were going to get 10K in your business this month and it's not quite happening, you have to sit there and remember that we can't say this is the way that it's going to happen and this is the way that my life's going to play out, because that doesn't exist. Life exists the way that it's meant to exist. And you need to forget about trying to speed it up and actually look at the intention of who you are being in this season. And right now you are being stubborn because Spirit wants you to let go and be willing to see that there are different ways to get to where it is that you're going. But all those ways are required on how you feel. So you want to be very, very observant of your feelings right now and understanding how are you feeling in all the settings around you. And if something feels disconnected, chances are you're disconnected. But in that disconnect, don't just ditch what it is that you are focusing on. Instead, ask yourself, how could I mix this up? Because the thing that I want to be clear with is your focus point right now is sticking positive. Whatever it is that you're focusing on in your life, like, you need to stay focused on that, but you need to change the way that you get to that, right? And so the stepping stones of how you get there is what needs to shift. And the more you can shift yourself and the more you can be willing to navigate those stepping stones, the deeper the reward at the end. So let go of that stubbornness and let spirit guide you into a new plan of getting to where it is that you're going. Now, as I'm kind of leaning back in and seeing what else comes to the surface, what I will say, Libra, is that in trusting these stepping stones, I feel it's not about what you're doing, but it's about who you're being. And so there's a lot of identity energy coming to the surface here. Expression is a key thing because I feel like you're not harnessing the full extent of your confidence, and your confidence has been knocked for a long time. I actually feel like a lot of you listening to this will have just not ever felt your full extent of confidence. This is a time to get confident. In the beginning, that's going to feel like a very big, bold energy. And so you can expect to feel it like a coffee high. Now, when I describe a coffee high, it's like that, ooh, we're up and then we're crashing, which is interesting considering spirit brought through this message of like needing to refrain from caffeine and substances that are maybe making you ride that high and then drop back down. When I look at this energy, what spirit is saying is because the energy that you're going to be using in your life is learning to be confident, it's going to feel very, very bold, which means that you're going to need these perfect divides of out there energy and then hermit, and then out there energy and hermit. And so this month can feel like you step forward, you step backwards, you step forward, you step backwards. There's a reason behind that because you need those hibernation phases to really build your momentum and just come back into self-satisfaction. And so don't be afraid to give yourself that hermit so that you can reground, so that you can retune, so that you can connect with yourself at a deeper level. So Libra, let me know how this resonated. I want to know all the things in the comment section, and do not forget to like and subscribe down below.